Dobrý den a vítejte u 19. lekce. Hello and welcome to lesson 19. Today we're looking at present tense verbs and how to decline them. This was something one of the subscribers asked me to do, so thank you for that. There are 4 basic patterns for declining Czech verbs. In order to know which pattern to use, you need to know the infinitive form of the verb. This is the to form. So, for example, to play is hrát. To play, hrát. Or to thank is děkovat. Děkovat. Okay. Once you know the infinitive form, you can decide whether it's a group 1 verb, group 2 verb, group 3 verb, or group 4 verb. Okay, just quickly plug this book, 401 Czech Verbs. It has loads of examples of declining different verbs, irregular verbs and everything. I think it's a really useful book. It helped me a lot, so I recommend this. Okay, so the first group we're going to look at is in verbs that in the infinitives end with at. So, for example, the verb to make or to do is dělat. 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 And to decline this verb, it goes dělám, děláš, dělá, děláme, děláte, dělají. Okay. So what you do is you take away the at, so you're just left with děl, and then you add až, a, ame, ate, ají. And that's what you do with all the at verbs. Okay. The second group, there are 3 possible infinitive endings for this group. So the first one is et, the second one is t, and the third one is it. So et, yet, eat. So an et verb would be to think, which is myslet. Yet would be vidět, to see. Vidět. Or an it ending verb would be mluvit, to speak. Mluvit. Okay. So you take away the end, so the et, the t, or the it, and then you add im, ish, I, ime, ite, I. So if we took the verb to speak, which was mluvit, we'd say mluvím, mluvíš, mluví, mluvíme, mluvíte, mluví. You can see that the I form and the they form are actually the same. Okay, group 3. The infinitives of these verbs end in ovat. So we had the verb to thank, which was děkovat, or the verb to need, which is potřebovat. Okay, so we'll take děkovat, so it will be děkuji, děkuješ, děkuje, děkujeme, děkujete, děkujou. Okay, so it's u, eš, eme, ete, o. One little point to note, the I form, it can either end with u or i. That's why you might hear people say děkuji, or děkuju. Both are completely acceptable. The they form can also end in ou, or it could end in i. So it could be děkujou or děkují. Okay. And finally, group 4 are irregular verbs, which are obviously a little bit more difficult. You'll notice when you start learning more irregular verbs that a lot of the verbs that are irregular in English are also irregular in Czech. For example, the verb to eat in English has irregular past forms. It's also irregular in Czech. The verb to write has irregular past forms in English, so write, wrote. It's irregular in Czech. Okay. So we're going to look now at the verb to write, which is psát. Psát. And this verb is declined like this. Píšu, píšeš, píše, píšeme, píšete, píšou. Okay, so that's how you decline to write. With the irregular verb, I'm sorry, but it's just going to take a little bit of learning. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say is that, for example, in English, you can say I think and I am thinking. But in Czech, this would just be one form, so it would be mluvím. So mluvím is I speak and I am speaking. Tak je všechno. Remember this book, I recommend it. Děkuju moc krát a nashledanou.